Ever since World at War, one mini thing that made up a big part of the map is the Pack-A-Punch machine, but more or less the Pack-A-Punch Camo. I remember back in the Black Ops 3 days, every time a new map dropped, one thing in particular I would look at is the Pack-A-Punch Camo. And what is the Pack-A-Punch Camo? And that's why today I'm going to be ranking every single Pack-A-Punch Camo from World at War to Cold War zombies from worst to first. Get popcorn, get your milk, whatever you want to drink, and sit back, because this is going to be a pretty long video considering every single zombies camo from World at War to Cold War zombies. I don't think I have to reiterate it. There's a few things I want to mention, but we can go over that along the way when we get there. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe, because that's the least you can do. It helps out the channel a ton, and let's just get started because I don't want to waste anyone's time. Alright, so coming in at dead last, the worst Pack-A-Punch camo in my opinion is the Victus maps. So that's going to be Transit, Die-Rise, Buried in Nuketown as well, which is not really Victus, but it's in the mix of that camo. So don't get me wrong, this camo actually kind of does fit the atmosphere of Transit and Nuketown, because they're really gray and dark maps. But Buried and Die-Rise, on the other hand, are polar opposites aside from the same crew that we have. And the reason for that is because Die-Rise and Buried are both really daylight maps, especially Die-Rise, because there's a part of Die-Rise where you're literally just outside on the roof of the entire building. So this was a great opportunity for them to add a really cool PAP camo. At the time, PAP camos were really just very bland. They never had introduced much color. But I think they could have done so much better, so that's going to be coming in at dead last. So coming in at number 13, right after dead last, it's going to be Therese. So Therese was actually the first ever map with a Pack-A-Punch, so you can't really slap any hate onto it. It's the only World at War map with a Pack-A-Punch, and this Pack-A-Punch camo really wasn't aiming for anything, so like I said, there's not much hate to it. It's really bland. There are some engravings to it, but it's very similar to the Victus maps one. Really bland, but it's not going for anything. So coming in next is going to be actually all of Black Ops 1. This is something I never knew until researching about this camo, but every map, aside from the World at War remasters, every map in Black Ops 1 had the same camo. It's very similar to the Victus ones, but it's actually a slight red, and you can barely see it in Black Ops 1 itself, except for maps like Call of the Dead and Shangri-La, but you can really see it in Black Ops 3 Zombies Chronicles, which is why Black Ops 3 is just so much better. But yeah, the camo is really bland. However, it's a little better than the last two, and it has like a little red tint of a line, and it's kind of like a matrix kind of coding to it. Coming in at number 11 is going to be almost half of Black Ops 4. So by the time of this recording, I'm re-downloading Black Ops 4. I just got my Elgato to work, and I might make a change to it in the actual video, but I believe Blood of the Dead, Alpha Omega, and Classified all have the same camo. It's this cool reactive camo, and it would be so much better if the colors weren't so bad. There's a light blue, I believe, a light kind of neon yellow, which I don't really like. It is reactive, however, like most of Black Ops 4, so that's one really good part of it. It's reactive, but it's really just one color throughout the entire gun, so I don't really rate it that high. Coming in at number 10 is going to be Ancient Evil. This one's really cool, and it fits the map perfectly. It's a bright red. I don't know if there's multiple camos, but the first one I got was bright red, and it really fits the atmosphere, at least of the place where you are when you're Pack-A-Punching, because the entire place is really red. And it really does fit it. It's also reactive, like I said. Alright, I've always wanted to do this, but coming in at number 9 is 9. So 9 is a little bit better than the other two. Once again, it is reactive, and these colors on the guns are actually super cool. So there's a bright red, bright blue, I believe there's a bright yellow in there. And what stands out from the other 4 maps is that there's actually a gold tint to the outline of it. So it's not just one color throughout the entire gun. There's one color on like the main parts of the gun, and then on the outside there's like an edging tint of gold, and I really like that. It really does fit the map, because you know, you're obviously in this arena where they worship gold basically, and gold is like the highest currency, so Pack-A-Punching, it really adds that flavor to the map, and it shows and makes you feel like you have something really precious when it's colorful, and it also has a gold tint. So coming in at number 8 is a very similar one to 9, and it's going to be Dead of the Night. Despite the entire map, the camo is one thing that stands out a lot. There is a blue, I believe a red as well, kind of like 9, and it does have the gold tint, but what stands out on this one from the others is that there's like these little characters. I don't know, they're kind of like fancy characters, and they're engraved in gold all around the gun. It does fit the map entirely. Once again, you're in a mansion, to say the least, so gold is probably worshipped here as well. It's probably the highest currency of anything, and the whole entire gun is covered in that cool like characters of gold. Coming in now at number 7 is going to be Cold War Zombies. Now, Cold War Zombies is not even near the first ever zombies to actually have multiple camos like I announced before. But the cool thing with these is that there's 3 tiers of Pack-A-Punch. We all know this, you know, because it's the latest zombies. So the first one's going to be like a light yellow, the second one's going to be like a bright green, and the third one's going to be a bright pink. I feel like the yellow and green ones aren't loved as much just because the pink one is really what you're going to be seeing in the later rounds. I actually don't like the aspect of them keeping the same Pack-A-Punch camo throughout the maps, because right now we have 3 different zombies maps and they all have the same Pack-A-Punch camos. Now, keep in mind, yes, there are 3 different ones for 3 tiers, but I would have loved to see different ones throughout the maps, and this kind of follows the steps of Black Ops 1, where there's 1 or 3 camos, but really just the same camos throughout the entirety of the game. So coming in at number 6, the top 6 is where it gets elite. These are the best Pack-A-Punch camos in my opinion, and I think everyone would agree with me. So coming in at number 6 is going to be Zetsubo no Shima. So this one is actually a cool, I don't know if it's reactive, but it looks so cool. And right when you get this, it's just so cool because the entire gun is covered in this sapling. It's like a tree. It's dark green and bright yellow. It looks so cool. It covers the entire gun, like I said, and it really does fit the atmosphere of the map. One big thing you need to have a good Pack-A-Punch camo is it needs to fit the map, and I think Zetsubo no Shima does this perfectly. Once you Pack-A-Punch, you're just already in love with the gun and you can't stop using it because it's green. I mean, it's just like Zetsubo no Shima. The color scheme is amazing, and same with the camo. So coming in at number 5, we have started the top 5. It's gonna be Derising Rock, and this one is really cool, and this one is kind of like the Black Ops 4 ones with less class, but it's just, and you could say it's a little more bland, but in my eyes, it's just the original. It's the original reactive camo. It can be yellow, blue, red, but it's kind of like the Dead of the Night one or the 9 one, but there's no gold tint, there's no cracks or reactiveness. Now coming in at number 4, it's going to be Krovey. It's kind of like Derising Rock, but instead there's a dragon imprint all around the gun. So let's say you get a red one, it's going to be red in some areas, in some areas it's going to be brighter than others, and then there's going to be other areas that are just black from like the dragon, and it looks so cool. It's like they imprinted some places of a dragon and put it on there. It's really hard to explain, but you know, right when you see it, you'll know what I mean. Now coming in at number 3, the last 3 are very debatable to which one comes 3rd, 2nd, and 1st. Revelations only has 2 different colors. A lot of the time when you see people pack punching on these maps, you're gonna see 2 guns in particular, the Thunder Gun and the Apothecary Servant. So this was just so cool that you can really pack punch any gun on this map to have that camo. It's like a bluish camo with lava flowing through it, and it really fits the aspect of the map. So coming in at number 2, this is actually going to be 2 different maps. It's going to be Mob of the Dead, and it's also going to be Shadows of Evil. Now before researching, I would have doubted that these 2 would be put together. Although they are very similar, I thought there were some aspects that were different, but I was wrong. Actually, they're really exactly the same. You could go into a Shadows of Evil game and notice that Shadows of Evil is a little more saturated than Mob of the Dead, but they're basically the same. And like the other ones that I might be wrong with, if they are different, I would just put them right next to each other. So Mob of the Dead and Shadows of Evil are coming in at number 2, and I think everyone knows where I'm going with for number 1. So finally, coming in at number 1, everyone's been waiting, everyone's been anticipating, and this might actually come to a surprise to some people. Not the first part, but the second part. So number 1 is going to be Origins, obviously. This is the best camo by far. It's a blue reactive camo. It fits the atmosphere of the map. And one more thing that I want to add is it's actually in Tog der Toten as well. So you may have noticed that I didn't put Tog der Toten in before. Now again, once again, Tog der Toten may be a little bit different from Shadows of Evil. It may be a little more reactive. It may have different like spikes around the gun, but if we're looking at this generally, Origins and Dr. Toten basically have the same camo. I think they probably just copy and pasted it and changed it up a little bit. And this is the one feature of Origins that I actually really love. I mean, there's so many other ones, but this is just one of them. But anyways, that's going to be the video, guys. So thank you for watching till the end. If you did like it, considering that you did stay till the end, make sure to leave a like and subscribe because it helps out the channel a ton, like I said in the beginning. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.